Hey, I'm Stan Lee, and boy, are you lucky you're watching Geek Out USA. Excelsior!
And welcome to Geek Out USA episode 96. Got a lot to talk about today.
Good grief, 96. Whatever are we going to do?
Yeah, it's going to be do more planning because I haven't been doing much. We've been really busy.
Last minute.
Hashtag last minute, definitely. I'm sure you've heard about it.
Haven't.
Yeah, you have, because we've been talking about it for a long time. Big Trouble in Little China. Guess who's gonna be Jack Burton?
Somebody hot and sexy.
The Rock.
The Rock.
Dwayne Johnson.
In the Rock.
So what do we think about Dwayne Johnson being Jack Burton?
So, let me preface this by saying I don't care. That's the lamest movie ever. Yeah, they both passed out. It was really funny. No, really.
I'm walking.
The producer has just quit the show.
You have issues. She doesn't like Blade Runner. She doesn't like.
We can't be friends. That's it.
She doesn't like Airplane. She doesn't like.
Stuff. I try really hard to like it. Maybe if I watched it again. I mean, I do like Kurt Russell.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little China man.
He's brilliant. He's not pretty good. He's brilliant.
I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe it's dude humor. I don't know. Dude humor? Is that why I don't get it? Or I just don't get it because it's not my...
It was like one of the... It was a sci-fi action film. It was cool.
So explain to me why it's cool.
I don't know. We've gotten a lot of things from that. Like I'm sure there was a lot of they took a lot of stuff from like Mortal Kombat. Like character Raiden is almost a copy of a character in Big Trouble in Little China.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's always things that influence other things, but you're not telling me why this movie is so great. I'm not hearing any proof that this movie is super cool.
Action, humor, adventure.
It does have all of the action, humor, and adventure.
So does Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is a good movie. Let's just say I'm gonna watch it.
Wait, who did you watch it with, though?
I don't remember. Maybe it was the company I kept.
Who was the company you kept?
I don't know. I So, The Rock, he does action. He does funny.
Yeah.
I like him in that one where he's like in the Congo or whatever, and he's trying to catch that
Rundown.
little... Yeah,
the rundown, yes.
That movie is hilarious. So if it's anything like that, which I'm assuming is similar to that type of feeling, right? Because that's kind of the feeling.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
there's going to be
action, yeah.
with a little bit of campiness.
So
because
I'll watch it.
Because Big Trouble in Little China, that's also Carpenter, right?
On Carpenter,
Yeah.
Which is the same one that did Escape from New York, and then after that, Escape from L.A. The Thing.
Also movies I don't like. So maybe I just don't like...
Oh, gosh.
Also, all with Kurt Russell.
We really can't be friends anymore.
I want to be friends. There's other things. I don't know. I'm interested. So, of course, the girl in me wants to see Patty McHot, The Rock, right? Anything I want to see. I don't know. If they were making like remaking Enemy Mine, I would totally see that. If they were making like remaking Gremlins, I would totally see that. I would love to see Gremlins with some CG, and because I like pulled all the kids together. They were like 10 and 12 and stuff. I was like, okay, come on, we're gonna watch this scary movie. It's Gremlins. It's so awesome. Oh my god. Yeah, huddle under the blankets. Let's get some popcorn. They laughed through the whole thing. Thought it was not very frightening. No, not at all. Spike is not as scary as one might think he was. So I would watch a remake of that. I would really like that. Those are some of the things I would like. I don't know, Big Trouble in Little China. I know that a lot of people are about it. It's not my. I'm not like super over
that. I don't know. And it's one of the first times we get to see Kim Cattrall. You don't know who Kim Cattrall? She's from Sex and the City. So no, I'm really excited to see something come of it. Do I think Dwayne Johnson is a very versatile actor.
Yes.
I think if anyone were to do the character justice, it would be him. It'll be very different than what.
Well, we kind of hope that it's different, though, right? They have done 50-50 on these. Let's remake things from the 80s that you know our generation is wanting to see now. So some of them they've remastered and it's good and we're like, oh yeah, good job. And then there's some like
I
Jim
know
that
people get
us.
after me at this, but I love the new Red Dawn.
I still haven't seen it.
You got to see that.
The
it's
new
good.
Red Dawn was good. Yeah, I really liked that. I thought that it was a good modern take on that. But yeah, I know a lot of people hated that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess it depends. I don't know. We'll see. It's another one of those we'll see. Since I didn't love it anyway, I don't have like one way or the other to feel about it. So anything with The Rock in it, I'm watching. I'm excited about his new show on TV, like the ex-football player, but I have a football problem on top of my problem. So.
But when you look at that movie and you play a lot of like RPG, like we used to back in the day, you get that feeling when you're watching that.
Oh god.
Yeah.
For RPG.
Well, maybe we'll have to sit down and watch it again. I know we own it.
It will be a little bit of campy, but it's supposed to be. For one thing, it's a lot older.
Camp. Yeah. I mean, you kind of come to expect it. Like, I'm really excited to the students are learning about Greek mythology. So I told one of my teacher friends, who's the English teacher, that I'm gonna let her borrow Clash of Titans from like back then. With with the owl and everything. Like, they've got to experience camp at least once in their lives. Like, you just have to experience it. There's nothing else you can do about it. So, I don't mind the camp. I think the camp is great. They should probably bring some of the camp right to the new one. Effective.
They would have to keep the humor.
I mean, there's a ton of humor in there, and there's a ton of action in there that you really want to see. Ton of it. And then you got to see the Pork Chop Express.
I don't remember the Pork Chop Express.
That's his truck.
Oh. I knew it was the truck.
You know what Jack Burton always says in a time like this? You're supposed to say who? Me, Jack Burton. It's like you see at the bottom right there, Jack Burton. So, no. I'll watch it. Because I just want to relive a lot of the stuff. And you can't have Kurt Russell do it. He could do Snake Plissken. I think that would be alright to see him do again.
You know, it might even be cool if they did a reboot with him still doing Jack Burton, but The Rock as, maybe his protege or something like that, doing something else.
At the Do y'all remember Buckaroo Banzai? That's another one that Colleen doesn't like. Buckaroo Banzai.
It's gonna be Bash. Colleen doesn't like Night.
And this was like an alternative scene that never made the cut ever. Is you see Buckaroo Banzai walking, and then he gets picked up by the Pork Chop Express by Jack Burton. But they've never put it in anything. I've never seen it. So I don't know. It could be a lie, but I've heard a lot about it.
So you think they'll revisit it in the
That would be Buckaroo Banzai would be an awesome movie for them to with Peter Weller and John Lithgow.
You have to ponder it and decide who you character.
I don't know
if you could redo
That's
it.
tough. That's tough. I mean, I'm sure it was tough to figure out who would be Jack Burton.
Yeah, because Kurt Russell is pretty iconic. I mean, he is these characters. So yeah, I'm sure it was hard to fill his shoes. I like him more in like Overboard and.
He's still tough.
Yeah, he is still tough. He is still tough. And the thing I like about Kurt Russell, he doesn't always play the same character. Snake Plissken is a completely different character than Jack Burton in Big Trouble in Little China. I don't know. Like I said, I'll see it and see what's going on. Also, off subject, the Tron 3. Disney is not gonna do it after all.
Yeah, I heard that got killed. Yeah.
But they're like, people are building like protesting it.
Why was Tron 2 that great? I don't remember Tron 2 being that like. It was kind of like.
The CGI was.
I liked the cartoon. I think we had this discussion before. I liked the cartoon they did a lot better than the live action.
Yeah.
I liked that cartoon. It had weird stylistic vibe to it, and they were real shouldery and real skinny and funky, and I don't know. I liked that element to it, and then I liked the characterizations in the cartoon. I really liked the Tron. Didn't love the second movie, so I'm surprised they even considered doing a third movie because it didn't seem like that was lucrative.
I mean, it made money. Tron.
I don't know.
Just put 13 with less clothes.
Yes. I don't know. I didn't think it was that great. So I wasn't like really, when I saw that they were axing it, I was thinking, okay, well, who told them to make it in the first place? Like, okay, yay, you're axing it, good. That was probably a good idea to begin with.
We got a hey guys from Tabletop Generals.
Hey, Tabletop Generals.
Hey, how's it going?
Got to get him out here to start doing some mini segments. On
Yeah.
the show. Show y'all some stuff about mini. Because I'm not playing that. Let's have a whole episode about things I'm not going to do. I'm not playing minis. It was just
his birthday last night.
Yeah.
And I went over to his house and we played. Okay. I know I've said for the longest time, don't settlers.
It's because of the producer's son. That out there.
That competitive nature of it, I didn't like, and it just turned me off whenever I heard about Catan.
Makes you cry every time.
So I played it again. I was like, you know what? I'll give it another chance. I really like that game.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
It really depends on the.
It does depend on the crowd you're
playing
with.
Does it? Okay. I just kind of thought, in general, I don't like these resource gatherers, right? I don't know. I just didn't like it. It felt like maybe I felt more like it was luck of the draw or something. But then after we played that resource gatherer called Worker Placement, by Mark McKinnon, and it's Daiscami Publishing, I think, does that one. I really enjoyed that one, and I kind of got a better feel of how I could take the luck of the cards. Yeah,
because that one wasn't necessarily as complex as... I mean, I wouldn't call Catan that complex.
It
But
kind
it
of
was,
is.
but
The strategy is
the
rules are fairly
strategy is
straightforward.
complex
Yeah.
because you have to be thinking moves ahead and trying to anticipate where is somebody going to build, how am I going to get the resources that I need.
and how do I stay 2 rows away from every other
Yeah,
settlement or city?
so I think that in that of that becomes complex.
And I guess I really liked it because I was winning. Wow.
Oh well, yeah.
I
think
was, like,
that makes you like
obliterating
any
them.
game, right? I mean, when
But
you're
that-
there winning, you're like.
But the
"Yes,
thing is,
won
I had
this
never
thing."
played the game.
You would only observe.
I've only observed. I've never ever played it, and I'm glad I played it because it's fun.
I mean, it's an international phenomenon.
So
There's,
now
like-
I want to check out like the Star Trek.
Did you know that
One.
at Gen Con this year, they are going to be having like a record-setting Guinness World Record Catan event going on, where they're going to have so many people playing at the same time that it's going to break a world record.
Mhm.
And that's at this Gen Con this year. So that's really cool.
Yeah, we got from the Tabletop Generals. You almost won. I set up my settlements initially around a bunch of wheat, and I set it around 5. So when I kept hitting 5, I was getting all this wheat, and it allowed me to do a lot of things that everybody else wasn't able to do at the time, because for some reason I kept rolling. Somebody rolled 5s, and when they tried to knock me out, when it came to my turn, I always rolled a 7, and it would take it off me, take that little whatever it was, the Robin. Robber, take him off of mine and put it somewhere else.
So then maybe we need to revisit Catan and see.
Yeah. Do we have it in our library?
We don't, because I shied away from it because I was so traumatized by it. So.
We should
And then
get
there's
it.
the Star Trek one, right?
Yeah. I'd like to get that one.
I think I would really like to play that one. I think I would try that one even more. I'm a total Star Trek nerd. I really do love me some Star Trek. So I would definitely like play the movie. I like the new movies too, so I'll play the new movies and play the game. We could have a Star Trek Adventure Day.
That would be.
I'd be excited for that. You can come. And then I'll watch Big Trouble in Little China and I'll pretend I like it. I mean, I'll really like it and it'll be awesome.
You know what's really awesome? Sony is going to release a new PS4 with a terabyte hard drive. 1 terabyte hard drive.
Like the space you have in your brain for apps?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Don't know what a terabyte is, but
You know, it's
1024
gigabytes. Which that's only makes sense to like techie people.
It's a lot of space. So
That's one thing that
So what's the purpose of having all of this?
because it previously it came with 500 gigabytes. Yeah, they're doubling it. But the thing is, if you download games off of the Sony Marketplace or whatever it's called, you're looking at average like 40 gigs plus per game. So hopefully they're just going to be upgrading this and you won't have to pay any extra for it. Because really, hard drives now, they're cheap. They're cheap. And they're getting cheap again because there was a time where they had all those typhoons and stuff over there in Japan, and destroyed a lot of the hard drive manufacturers' factories. Yeah, so the hard drives were starting to go up in price, but now they're starting to come back down since they are getting out and building hard drives.
I didn't even know that PlayStation had the thing like Xbox. Xbox has like Xbox Live or something like that where you can download the games and get points and get add-ons. So Sony has the same thing then in essence. that the case? And then so you need the space so you can download like extra maps for Call of Duty or whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm not a big video gamer, sorry, so I get kind of lost. And then you can keep like your digital copies of your movies and stuff, right? Because nowadays when you buy the Blu-rays, you have the option to buy the Blu-ray with the digital copy.
Yes.
You can save it to the device, so you don't have to necessarily all the discs stuff too. That might be nice to have the space if you stuff like that too.
I don't know. It's just all because as we get more and more advanced with our software and our video and everything, then also file size. When that file size is up, because I thought I have a 2 gigabyte hard drive, I'm never gonna fill that up. You fill it up like that.
I don't even think they make 2 gigabyte like USB drives anymore, do they? Like 2 gigabytes is like a joke nowadays. Is that it?
Yeah,
Or-
well, I think
like 2 gig. Just kidding.
I think they do make them, but they're just like promotional stuff, just enough to have all your stuff in. But even then, I see people go in and with like 8 gigs. 4 gigs is like the smallest, really, right now.
Really, yeah. A lot of like the giveaways and stuff you get, you kind of automatically know that it's a 4 gigger, right? You're like, oh, okay, it's 4 gigs. Like, I can put 3 pictures on. It's like, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, so as things become more and more advanced, we need space. Well, that's cool. So, same price range for that, or?
They're hoping they're gonna announce it, I think, in a couple of weeks at E3. So
Oh God, is it time again already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Need to get an invitation there. So,
Guys.
I don't know. It's all good. Oh, Tabletop General says, plus my wife liked it and she's not nerdy, so she says. So she
Closet
she
nerd.
seemed to really like Catan. Will say my first computer had a 40 megabyte hard drive, and the salesman said that was more than I would ever need. The year was 1988.
Oh wow. Man, I remember playing this game.
That was probably like a 386 or something like that.
I worked on a 286 20 meg hard drive.
Nice. Yeah, I remember my best friend, he had a Tandy. I don't even know what size the Tandy was. But we had this game that we loved on there called Pirates. And you had to go around and you were like in the pirate ship. And you could bring the pirate ship like alongside the other pirate ships and shoot them with your cannons and stuff. It was the best game ever. I gotta find that game and see if like they updated it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But we would literally sit there. I would go to his house in the summer at 9 o'clock in the morning. And we would be there until 9 o'clock at night and maybe pillage or go to like one island in the whole map system because it took so long for your little ship to move and everything. It was crazy ridiculous. It was a lot of fun though. We thought it was fun back then. Nowadays,
he said it was a 286, top of the line.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd probably all be throwing that machinery out the window nowadays.
The first computer I ever had was a 200 megahertz Pentium. Packard Bell. And back in the day, Packard Bell was using a lot of like used parts in their brand new system, and that's why they went away.
Oh, really?
Pretty quick, yeah.
Package tell.
But I never really had a big problem with it. Mine lasted for a very long time.
How to write code in high school and just like lines and go to this,
Yeah,
and messing it up, and then
basic or
yeah, it was
well,
basic.
it was a quick basic. I used to
Had to make
programming.
a stagecoach. It had to roll across the screen, and the sun had to like rise and set. And it took us a whole semester to code this stupid one little animation. And then if you put like GoT or go do the wrong line when you were putting in the pixels for the color, stagecoach would be moving all along, and then all of a sudden the whole screen would go brown. like the
Wow.
color of your stagecoach, and you're like, oh Lord, have mercy. I think that's why I got frustrated because my ADD doesn't like kick in well with all of that. So back in the day, it was really stressful to program and stuff. So I never became like a techie. Wasn't my thing. And then the whole dial-up, that noise.
Oh yeah.
It just like drive
Who
me
even
nuts.
does that anymore? There's still dial-up out there, I'm sure. But like, who even does that anymore?
I don't know. And you know, people liked that noise. Like people have gotten that noise and like put it onto their Windows machines and stuff so it'll play.
And then you hear, "You've got mail."
You've got mail. Nobody uses AOL anymore.
I think people,
Do they really? AOL's.
but we still have like free access to it because we're Time Warner.
Well, I mean, I still have my old AOL. I never got rid of it. I just let like all kinds of junk go there.
I heard there's some guy that's trying to collect all those AOL discs for nostalgia purposes. So, I don't know. There was a ton of them that they was sending, and they were free. Like, oh, I have it? I need to download it. I'll go to the store and take a copy of it.
I don't know. We didn't.
CompUse, Prodigy, Net Zero. When Net Zero has like a cable modem connection, you like pay for the modem and free or something like that.
Well, I'm hoping Time Warner boosts our signal so that we can start. Like,
We
really
are waiting for
slamming it
that.
on the show, so that people have some really good connection, and we're like, "Ooh, I'm coming to you live in HD," and it's no crackling, skipping, and dropping. That would be really
Will
great.
says 2 million dial-up AOL subscribers still.
Shut up! Really, 2 million dial-up subscribers. Smaller countries, maybe.
Thinking on.
Old
Shit.
people.
Well, the Amish crank their computer.
But with all the stuff that's on the internet now, because back in the day, it would take forever to load pages if it had images.
Oh my god. Yeah, that used to drive me nuts.
So
Nuts.
now it's like, boom, you're there, and even we're putting like high res photos on there, and it's still loading up pretty quick. I don't know. Let's stop. Get into. Stop dialing it. Get a cable modem, DSL, do something like that.
Well, they just might not have it available.
Could be.
It's hard, even in some of the little country towns around here in Texas, they have that kind of stuff. So that could be it right there. The cable companies don't want to go out until they available Appalachian. Go to the
Well,
swamp
even for
people.
that, they use like satellite. That's more expensive though. So, it's gonna be summer pretty soon.
Summer. I thought winter was coming.
Not quite yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
No, not yet.
Summer first.
Summer first. So, I know there's a lot of stuff that you can do now that a lot of kids are gonna be off of school.
Yes, thank you.
But it's summer geeking.
Had me a blast. Summer geeking. Oh, sorry. So everybody knows I'm a school teacher, so tomorrow's my last day with children. Woo woo! I love the children, but they gotta go. So we used to have the town wired when our kids were little, and I don't think people realize how much is available in the city of San Antonio for them to do with their kids. So I wanted to kind of talk about some of it, just to let people know what's going on out there. Some of it's geeky, some of it's not necessarily geeky, but you know, we all, those of us that are geeks, we like some of the geeky things, and we like other things too. So one of the really great things is Santikos has free movies every week. They have everything from the Box Trolls, the Penguins of Madagascar, Paddington Lego Movie, and some of them you've seen them before, but sometimes it's nice to just get the kids out of the house, take them to the theater, let them see it on the big screen if they never got to experience it on the big screen. I think I'm gonna go see Alexander in the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. I've been wanting to see that. Super cute. How to Train Your Dragon. So you can look on Santikos. Just Google Santikos San Antonio, and you can get a list of all of the movies. And I think it's usually on a Wednesday morning, and it'll tell you the times and everything. So those are at the Santikos theaters. Then we have a new place opening in San Antonio. Actually, this weekend, it's called the Dooseum. Instead of the museum, it's the Dooseum, where the kids can go and do things, and they can experience things in a very interactive way. It's kind of what they had wanted the Children's Museum to be like originally.
Mm-hmm.
And so that...
Oh, okay. Now I get it. You kept telling me Dooseum, and I was like, oh, do.
Yeah,
so
instead of
interactive.
museum.
Okay,
yeah, you
I get
go
it
do
now.
stuff at the museum. So that they're having an opening event this weekend, June the 6th, and their website is www.thedoseum.org. Okay, and it'll tell you all about the exhibits that they have available and what's available. That one's not free, but it looks like a good thing to do. Another really easy, free thing to do with your kids is take them to the San Antonio Public Library. The mayor is actually having a public library hero-themed summer reading program this summer. So I thought that was really geeky and cute. You know, superheroes are kind of on the forefront right now. So the mayor got involved, and if the kids read 8 books, if they're a reader and they can read by themselves, if they read 8 books, they can go and get a free book. And they get a certificate and stuff like that. And I remember doing that when I was a little kid. So this is something that the public libraries here have been doing for a long time. And if your little kid gets books read to them, if you'll go and read 16 books to them, they still get a certificate and they get a free book too. So it encompasses a lot of the kiddos that they can go and do that. Also, all of the different branches at the library have different events. Story times, they bring in animals, they do crafts. So if you'll check your local area...
They bring out board games like Game Expo.
Well, that's Game Expo, yeah. So our producer and his wife, they go every 4th Sunday? Is that correct? Saturday, I'm sorry. Every 4th Saturday. And which branch are you at?
The Julia Sims Library on...
All right, the Julia Sims on Judson and Nacogdoches. So every 4th Saturday, they go to that branch and bring out board games from Game Expo. And Vincent and I try to go out there and help out sometimes too. Get bogged down, so thank you, Al and Lene, who are always going out there and playing games in the community. But that's a really great thing. Also, a lot of the local bookstores have reading times, and they have discussions so that if you have an older child and you want to kind of keep their mind going, they have little like book talks or little discussions or little book clubs. I know I just looked on Barnes and Noble's site, and they had a bunch of events. It's already up on their calendars.
They have like little signs posted out in our area for Minecraft camp.
Yes.
So they can have kids and they'll teach them how to do Minecraft stuff. So,
So there are lots of events. The last one that I personally know about is going to be at Heroes and Fantasies. They are going to be showing the Power Ranger 20th anniversary movie viewing, and they're going to have 2 of the actors there, Jason David Frank and Steve Cardenas, on June the 30th. Okay. They're also planning on doing some more gaming and stuff. We've been doing gaming at Heroes and Fantasies. They do a lot of Magic, so if you like Magic, that is definitely going on, and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon goes on out there. But we're also doing a lot of board gaming at Heroes and Fantasies. So look at Heroes and Fantasies Facebook and at their webpage, and as events get scheduled, they're going to be up on there as well. And then keep in mind there's a lot of restaurants too that if you eat, your child eats free, so you can kind of go make a day out of it and get a meal, and then your kiddo gets to eat for free. So you can usually just Google kids eat free, and you'll get a whole list of places. I know Luby's used to do it, and a lot of the places when the kids were. Oh, and the Whitty Museum is free on Tuesdays. You can't get into the special events for free, the special exhibits, and I don't think you can get into the treehouse, which is no longer the treehouse. It's a new body exhibit, which was really interesting.
We saw that in Las Vegas at the Luxor. I
No,
know...
not that body exhibit. That body exhibit's coming to the Whitty in October. That one's really interesting.
Yeah.
I will be talking about that in October because I am to die for this, even though it's a very controversial exhibit. but it is coming to San Antonio at the Witty. But go to the Witty, and you can at least show your child some artwork and show them a little bit about culture and fine arts and how to behave in these kind of settings and stuff. It's kind of nice to broaden their horizons. Maybe they might think it's boring, but if you just have them sit down, just find one piece of art that they really like or really speaks to them or really they really dislike even, is a good thing to kind of put them out there and let them sit down and they can just write their thoughts down. What did you like about this piece of art? What did you dislike about this piece of art? So there are lots of events. So I just wanted to kind of start everybody's mind going.
Will says if you happen to work at HEB, you can go every day to SAMA.
Oh, there you go. So if you work at HEB, you can go to SAMA, and you can take your kids out there. So
I think all the museums have the Tuesday.
Yeah. Tuesday. So
every Tuesday you can go into the main area, not any of the special exhibits.
To the main area.
And you can always donate to them as well.
Yeah, and then you can get into the special event at no cost. So, and it was really cheap for us to get the membership to the Witty, and we got to go to all the exhibits.
But they also have areas where you can just donate.
Mm-hmm.
You get in free. Oh, okay, I'll drop in and a couple of bucks here and there.
And the Witty has some good places where there's a lot of taxidermy, and it shows a lot of the native peoples and things like that. So it's not just artwork. You and I were fortunate. We grew up with parents. My dad was an art teacher. Your mother was very much into the arts. I mean, your name is Vincent, after Vincent Van Gogh. So we had this education, and to me, children, especially as a teacher, children that have these experience and they go out and they read and they go out and they see something in the fine arts community, whether they see a play or they go and evaluate some artwork, they are more well-rounded. They do look at things a little differently. So as a teacher, I'm asking you, please take your child to some fine art. And you don't have to be well-versed at art. You and your child can just have your opinion about art. That's the nice thing about art. You can have your personal opinion about it, and you guys can talk about it. And maybe it's not the same opinion, but it kind of gets you having conversations with your child.
And they have people there that could help you out.
Yeah.
Here and there and provide you a little bit of information.
And then, of course, we have a lot of parks here in San Antonio, too. So you can look up San Antonio parks. And you can go out there, and there's always swing slides and little nature walks. We went to Opie Schnabel because our son made it to the state entomology competition. He's going next Wednesday, so yay. Nick, shout out to Nick because he's going to state, and we hope he wins again with his collection. He won first place last year with his collection. So there's Opie Schnabel, which is over there on Bandera, and it's really nice. Lots of parks and areas where you can go around, and that's always free. You can just take your kid out and play and kick the ball and take your lightsabers out there and fight. So definitely lots of things to do, and we'll keep you posted if we hear about any more summer geeking.
Yeah, we'll keep you all summer. We'll give you all the information. And there's going to be a bunch of conventions too that are happening.
Oh yeah, there's always tons of conventions in the summer.
So,
San Japan is in the summer. We're going to Texicon in the DFW area in a few weeks. Origins is going on right now, and
all the stuff that happens at Wonderland Mall.
Oh, the Wonderland Mall. We're going to be at, isn't there a Star Wars event this weekend? Yeah, Star Wars event this weekend at the Wonderland Mall. Then the 20th and 21st is Sci-Fest. So you can always go to Facebook, and do you know what that Facebook page is for those events? I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't think that's
Dork Geek,
NDG or
Productions. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll look that up and we'll put links to that also, because all of those events at the mall are for free. You can go out a lot of the time and see entertainers, and there's just a lot of booths where you can see things. And we'll be there playing games.
You know what was really entertaining?
Huh.
Game of Thrones.
Oh my god, Game of Thrones was over the top entertaining.
Yeah, I mean wow.
Yeah, really wow.
And I got my little White Walkers. Yeah, so we see a lot happening this episode.
Well, for those of us that have read the books, we are off the reservation. They're so far off the reservation, we don't even know where the reservation is. So, I was as shocked as you were. One of the things I loved is every time they're on the scene, Cersei, Vince is there Yay! He was really
Yay,
clapping.
I
He
was clapping,
literally
and I was like,
clapping
yay, she's
every
getting
time
hers.
something bad. When the nun like smacks her in the head with the.
That was so cool.
He was having so much fun with Cersei being tormented. It was great.
Cause she's such a. She's a queen bee.
Peach.
Yeah, she's a peach. That was really, those scenes are really great. They're staying fairly true to the books as far as that goes. Another scene that was just, I had my mouth hanging open was when Theon tells Sansa that her brothers are alive. This is something that definitely doesn't happen in the. Nothing about that. Nobody really. Maybe Ramsay, because Theon probably spilled the beans. Played or parts chopped off, but Sansa, to know that her brothers are still out there, because she has no idea what's going on with Arya.
But we haven't really
alive.
seen them. Though,
They haven't shown them
They
at
haven't shown
all,
them
and
at
I'm
all.
not sure where they're going to go with those characters. In the book, the little one, Rickon, he goes away with one of the wildlings, and he never really talks about him again. And Bran has a really
Does he just
big...
did he just forget about stuff?
I don't know. Sometimes I wondered in the book, I was like, well, what about so-and-so, and what about so-and-so? But they kind of do that in the show, too, because I was reading, George R.R. Martin was kind of disappointed that they left out Sansa's mother, Catelyn Stark. She dies at the Red Wedding. But in the books, she's revived. Resurrected, kind of more like it, yeah.
By that Scarlet Witch or whatever?
Oh,
No,
something different.
no, it's Dondarrion. That's another character you don't really see in the series. So she seems like she's gonna have an integral part eventually, because she's out for vengeance. She's full of rage and stuff. So George R. R. Martin was kind of disappointed that wasn't in the show, and I think a lot of us that read the books were kind of disappointed that she wasn't in the show. But I think the show really made up for it this week with the White Walkers.
Yeah, I mean, well, because from what you were telling me in the books, they just kind of allude to them.
Correct. They just kind of allude to them, and Sam and them have a battle with them, and then when Bran gets to the tree, which is an important thing in the books, which you know about, they have a big kind of moment with them. But in this, the White Walkers, so in the show, the White Walkers seem to be like the generals or the captains of this army of zombies, and they send like a snowy mist down and turn everybody vicinity into a World War Z-esque kind of zombie, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got that World War Z kind of feeling where they're very frantic, they're coming at you, they're gonna attack you, they're like gnawing their way through the gate basically. So they're not the same as the White Walkers. The White Walkers seem much more sentient, they're in charge, like this is just their horde. It's strength in numbers kind of tactic.
So Jon Snow's going there, and they're fighting all those ice zombies, and he's going through and not really doing much with them. He's doing his own, but he finally thinks, oh, dragon glass. There's dragon glass in that tent. I know, we're screaming
like the whole time.
He's like, dragon glass, dragon glass! So, he goes out there, and he's looking for it, and one of the White Walkers comes in, and there's fire all around them. And then the giant was in there, too, and he's getting out, and he's, like, throwing them all over the place. I thought he was going to turn into a big giant zombie. And, he's going through it, and then he's looking for the dragon glass or obsidian or whatever you want to call it. And I think he finds it, but he doesn't grab it.
He goes to grab it, and the White Walker knocks him away, so he can't get a hold of it, and he doesn't find the whole satchel of it, which is problematic. And so then they keep kind of continuing to fight, and John's like doing the best, like, okay, well, I got to do the best I can to try to ward these off. And he finds out a really huge...
Yes. He finds out a really huge thing. This sword was Longclaw, I believe it's called. It's a Valyrian steel sword.
Right.
which these are ancient swords. From what I hear, they were made with like dragon fire, so they have kind of like some kind of magic to them. Like you never have to sharpen them; they're always sharp.
Right.
And
they're proverbial like fantasy type swords, yeah.
so apparently, those completely melt White Walkers.
They didn't melt him as much as shattered him, like as if he was
Shattered him and like turned him into mist or something.
Yeah. He turned into a bunch of little ice cubes and then phew. It was like that when somebody puts liquid nitrogen on something and breaks it, it was that kind of feeling. It was like and the White Walker's a million pieces. So then he does that and then all the generals turn and they're like looking at him and they're like, "Oh no, sir. That mess is not happening."
Yeah.
So they run and get on the boats because they still have Stannis' ships. And they were trying to get all the wildlings to come with them. And the stupid, dang, stubborn wildlings not come. But they had a good portion of them that were coming. They just didn't get to the boats fast enough. So, of course, here we are at the end. And here's Jon in his little boat in the ocean going towards Stannis' ships. And the generals have come down. And all of the dead rise up with the blue eyes and like, what are you gonna do now, Jon Snow? Like, we have all of these wildlings. Have a giant.
So there, supposedly, there's quite a bit of Valyrian steel, but they don't know where it is.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
From what I read, there's
being
quite
focused on that.
quite a bit. There's like 2,000 swords.
Oh, really?
Valyrian swords that are out there.
So this may become a.
So they may be like kind of like a quest, is like, where are these swords? Because they'll probably do more than this dragon class will, because they won't.
And you know, everybody was really hyped up about that, and it was. This was really great. The action was really great. I was glad to get to it because we've been doing a lot of talking and stuff. But some of the other really great scenes that I didn't hear people talking about as much, which I thought were as important, if not almost more important, were the Tyrion and Daenerys.
Well, that didn't even happen in the books, right?
No. Tyrion does not make it to speak to Daenerys. Tyrion is so Tyrion, right?
He is so cool.
He's so cool. He's so cocky. Like, make up your mind. Are you going to take me as an advisor because I can tell you all of these things, or are you going to chop my head off?
Are you going to execute me?
And like send my head to my sister, basically, kind of thing. And for the first time, okay, Kayla, are you listening, Kayla? For the first time, I found strength in Daenerys, and I really loved her character. She really looked at it. She really, like, she took the wine from Tyrion, and she's like, if you're going to advise me, I'd like for you to advise me in complete sentences. I really liked her at that moment.
I really think that Tyrion is wiser than she.
I agree. It's going to change things for her.
Yeah.
For her character, yeah. Mm-hmm. I completely agree. And she shuns Mormont again. This idiot fool sells himself into slavery to go back into the fighting pits. You know, she was kind to you and made sure that you weren't executed. Tyrion did you a solid.
Well, that sword Longclaw is his father's sword,
correct,
isn't it?
Yeah. Mormont, his father, was the head of the Night's Watch.
So shouldn't it be his sword?
They had a falling out, so Jon became... I mean, the sword goes to who the bearer gave it to. So Jon in all rights. So we know
that Jon Snow has a...
And really, Jon Snow's father, Ned Stark... Ned Stark, had a Valyrian steel sword that stupid Joffrey melted down and had a piece of.
Well, Joffrey didn't melt down.
Well, I know, but I just hate Joffrey.
Grandfather
stupid
did.
Joffrey.
And Jaime has one, right?
Yeah, Jaime has one.
And he gave that to
Brienne of Tarth. Yeah.
Yeah. So she has that.
Now Brienne would be a bad, what, with that sword against some white. That would be a scene I'd love to see.
Glass is created from dragon fire.
Scientifically, Obsidian is not that way.
For the
Obsidian,
reason.
but they
Yeah.
refer to it more as
Dragon glass because of the heat that it takes to create the obsidian. It's not necessarily that they believe that it's created by.
But they also say that the Valyrian steel is created by dragon fire.
Yeah, so it has to do with something with the dragon
So
fire. I'm sure.
there's dragons now, and the series is called The Song of Ice and Fire, right?
Yeah. So I
Dragons,
assume,
so
yeah.
they're going to help out during this battle.
Daenerys is more her husband.
Stannis.
Who likes Stannis?
No.
Who likes
Will
Stannis?
does.
Is
After he kills the red, I can see.
I don't know. Go rap, and in the books he can help him out, and Davos doesn't know.
But he was his dog.
I know. So I don't know. I'll be interested. Into the books, it's kind of like Daenerys alone with her dragon, and I can't remember. And she's kind of like taken away with just this. So from the book, with this because they've kind of changed the whole dynamic. And Tyrion's asking her, "You have all these people that go to West." Basically, what he does, he like names. He does have a point, and he
Why
lists
go there
off,
if
like
it
all this.
scene?
Yeah, I thought that was I think that's a turning point for those characters, and I'll be curious. And then they Jorah like looking at his arm, knows that death is coming to him.
He's very practical. Plus, she told him
Because they don't show the whole magic and shadow
They
of
showed that.
Stannis. Did they show that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They showed that last.
When they
brother.
kill Ren,
Yeah.
he's a creepy character. Oh, and then you get to see in her little role girl,
Mhm.
where she's out like pretending like her first persona, and but she's like lying on people. She's not as you see. She's who she's like looking at and stuff. So see whether she spies for them.
This season has building, and what this is episode 2 more
Like
or
2
something.
Yeah, we're tortured when all of these shows.
And about cliffhangers.
Yeah, you're gonna
At
be in
the-
the stuff. Yeah, it's gonna- I'm persnickety. Really enjoyed this. No problem with it. I'm really enjoying for the TV show.
Yeah.
And I think I was kind of frustrated with the book series drug on. Got me started on there's no end, you know, and
And
it's
that,
frustrating. Ending the dragons. So, I'm enjoying it. I really like it. I'll be excited to see what once they get to a point where they the book so far.
Yeah.
From about the movies about it earlier. Somebody got married book or something and it didn't happen.
oh yeah, the I have a couple of things, but I'll talk about that first. Apparently, well, Marvel does the Star Wars comics, and apparently been put into canon because the comes off of the trigger and telling Leia that, oh yeah, he's really good at lying, and just to let you know, I'm Sana Solo, his wife. But apparently he's still married.
That he was married to
Before
like way before
he met
Leia.
And alluding to that, it may have something to do with that little tiff between
Oh, you know, that would be kind of interesting. Okay, reading those comics too. I've been
that in the. He said.
so the new movies that are coming out in December. It's supposed to be like the children of all of these.
Supposedly.
So we want this kid from his first marriage.
I
I'm
for
a
a lot
fet.
of read any of that stuff,
Oh, okay.
or if they do it the way it is in the books.
Okay, we won't say anything.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it.
But
for
we'll
you.
probably start. But you Google.
But I read
Yeah,
reading books.
you read. So maybe we'll start. because I've been
Yeah.
I the Star Wars,
I really like the Darkly ones.
the graphic novel.
Yeah, I do read the staff tap.
Go to the library.
Gotta be Superman. We talked about it before. Oh, quick thing gonna be coming out. For a game I don't.
Yo, Ralph.
I'll get sick. Unless, I mean, I've never tried that.
Yeah,
see
your
if-
science experiment is. I mean, see if you can play
Oh,
first.
and a geeky thing.
We're totally doing. The producer's not doing that.
Just take
Vincent,
Dramamine.
we're gonna get some
Just
Dramamine.
take Dramamine. It's that you just gotta like or something. How do you do that? We didn't ever have to take.
Look, we don't have enough projects as it is. Okay, so could you?
We could make millions off of this, but we talked it.
I'll watch it.
Check it out.
Summer activities.
Summer
and stuff.
summer geeking. So
Yeah.
just Google it, you'll find it, and just put San Antonio.
Hang out with your kids. It's a good thing.
But yeah, thanks for checking us out again. I'm Vince.
I'm Colleen.
Geek out, SA.